evening and good night to some of you. This is a very special broadcast, and of course, we must pray. And prayer we must, this very evening and always going forward. And I will pray in the language of heaven, because Chukwukika Abiyama is in control of all that we have been doing and will continue to do until Biafra is restored and all the suffering indigenous populations in the damnable zoological republic are set free. Chineke na nke pụrụ ihe niile Chukwukika Abiyama onye na-efewe na aja aha nsọ ya mma mgbe niile. Onye ọbụla na ya na-achị eluigwe n'ụwa na-agba akaebe ịhụnanya gị na ebere gị amara gị n'ọmịiko gị ebe ndị gị na-eze ebede ngọzi. Anyị wee na-etoghị agbanyeghị atụmatụ ọjọọ niile nke ndị iro. Iwe nye anyị ndụ ala nke dị n'uwere n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị wee na-asị na ịja mma niile otu niile dịrị aha nsọ gị. Onye ọbụla anyị aka ike niile na ọ gbadara aka ya. Anyị wee na-akpọku gị na-asị gị na nke ọma anyị ga-ekele gị, nke ọjọọ ma anyị kelee gị. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma, wee na-etoghị, wee na-asọpụrụ gị n'isi ụmụ gị niile bụ ndị ikwu ndị wee eziokwu mgbe a kpọrọ ha ka ha wee chekwa ala nsọ gị bụ Biafra onye nwe m na Chineke na ihe n'ikwuru anyị nkwa na o mekataghị ka ndị iro wee were ala nsọ Biafra onye nwe m na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe. Agbanyeghị atụmatụ ọjọọ niile nke ndị iro ma ndị na-agba mgbọgba ebe niile dị iche iche onye nwe m na Chineke nna ihere bụ nke ndị dị etu a n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị wee na-etoghị, wee na-asị onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ m ihe niile, onye ọ bụla anyị a na-azọpụta, onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ okwu ya niile bụ ihe na amen. Anyị wee na-asị ezi ebube dị ngọzi na n'ụtụtụ na ịja mma na nsọpụrụ site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ise, ise, ise.
Welcome, my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you are joining me from any part of Africa, Asia, America, Australia, Canada, whichever part of the world you are joining me, Europe, Biafra land, anywhere you are joining me from, I thank you very much for your contribution to this channel. Please, when you watch my video, share the video to every platform. Share the video to your family and friends. Share it to all your WhatsApp group. Let people know what is going on in Biafra land, what is going on in the country called Nigeria, what is happening to the indigenous tribes in the country called Nigeria. As I've always told you, my purpose here is to set records straight. It is not to demonize anybody. It is not to preach hate speech. I am here to speak up for the indigenous tribes that are being oppressed in the country called Nigeria. Those indigenous tribes are Biafrans, the Oduduans, the Middle Belters, and every other indigenous tribe that I have not mentioned. Those who are sincerely asking for their freedom. I am coming on a daily basis to make sure that they are not forgotten. I speak up for everyone. Speak up for those who have been oppressed, more especially Biafran. And myself, I am a Biafran. Biafran to the core. I have no apology to that. A Biafran extending hand of fellowship to every other indigenous tribe in the country called Nigeria. That was the work our student Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was doing while he was with us. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu extended the hand of fellowship to every other indigenous tribe in the country called Nigeria. He wasn't fighting only for the Biafrans. He wasn't only fighting for the Igbos. He wasn't only fighting for the Southerners. He was fighting for every indigenous tribe in the country called Nigeria. That is what we are still doing today. Those of us who believe strongly on the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we are carrying on with the assignment that he has given us. The blood of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is flowing on our vein. We can hear from him on a daily basis, even though he doesn't speak directly. Spiritually, those of us who connect with him in prayers, we can hear from him on a daily basis, and we cannot be distracted. We can't be confused. It doesn't matter the wind that is blowing everywhere. The wind that is blowing in and out, right, left, and center. They can never get us, and they will not distract us. We will continue to speak up and say that which is right. And most importantly, we will not allow the conventional media, which the government have hijacked, to change the narrative. Continue to speak up from your own angle. If you see something, say something. Anything that concerns your area that you have seen that is not right, speak up about it. It is your right to air your opinion. If you don't tell your story, other people will tell your story. And when they tell the story, you're not going to lie the way they're going to narrate the story. They will tell it the way it's going to favor them, not the way it's going to favor you. That is why I am standing on daily basis, speaking up for the people of Biafra and every other indigenous tribe in the country called Nigeria in the operation that is going on. The killing of the Biafrans is happening on daily basis. Even as we speak, they are still killing Biafrans, killing the Oduduans, killing the Middle Belters, Who are those doing that? We have a single enemy. One particular set of people who are foreigners. They are not indigenous to Nigeria. They come from the Sahel, the Fulani Janjaweed. Through Othman Danfodio, they came in, and since they visited Nigeria, they have brought terrorism into Nigeria. They brought the terrorism through Othman Danfodio. Othman Danfodio came in, started his terrorism with the Hausas. They killed the Hausa rulers and killed so many of the Hausas who are prominent, who can speak up. And they dominated the Hausas. Today, we no longer hear about the Hausas. The Wazobia is gone. We're only hearing about Fulani. But Biafrans say, no, we cannot take that. Biafrans will continue to speak up. No inch of Biafra land will be taken. That was what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. And that word is the word from Chukwu Kabiama. They can never take our land. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. Regardless, their propaganda they are pushing from every angle, from every street, they will never succeed. Because we remain focused on that which matters. The only thing that concerns every Biafran, the only thing that has to be the pillar of the word we are saying on social media is freedom. The freedom of the Biafran people. The freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which will translate to the freedom of Biafran people. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be freed unconditionally. That is our demand. It doesn't matter the propaganda they are bringing from east, west, north, and south. It doesn't matter the propaganda they are pushing from one angle. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that you and I know that he has not committed any crime. That is why we are asking for his unconditional release. Everybody knows the Biafran, that Biafrans don't support evil. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has committed a crime, we will be the first people to name him and call him out. We will be the first people to call him out. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has not committed any crime. He has not been convicted in any court in the world. No court in the planet Earth has committed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for any crime. He traveled to Kenya with his British passport. He was stamped in. He didn't go in illegally. But Kenya went and kidnapped him in connivance with the criminal government of Nigeria. They kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and took him to Nigeria, renditioned him to Nigeria, which is a war crime. They damned the consequence and did that. And the world is watching. The world is watching. They pretend they have not seen it. They pretend they don't know what's happening. The world knows what is happening. But they are waiting for you and I, Biafrans, to act. They are waiting for you and I to speak up so that they can join, they can follow suit. That is why we are speaking up on daily basis about the plight of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And that is more reason why we are asking for the sit at home to be intensified. Anything you can do to air your opinion and make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is being released unconditionally, continue to do so. Anything at all you know you can do for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be released, do that. The release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the coming of Biafra. If anybody is giving you any message apart from the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that person is a deceiver and a liar. Don't listen to them. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have set a standard. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have set a standard, build a foundation that we all have to build on. If you are building on another foundation, apart from the foundation Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have built, you are missing the road and you're your own. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu laid a foundation based on truth. Build a foundation of truth, foundation of sincerity and consistency. That is the foundation Mazi Nnamdi Kanu laid. He laid that foundation and all of us saw that foundation very, very solid. No wind can blow it. It remained the same. Consistent. That is why every one of us continue to follow Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. People came from all walks of life and joined Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on the struggle. And today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has remained the symbol of justice in the contraption called Nigeria. Not just in Ipob land, not just in the Biafra land, not just in the southern part of Nigeria, but in that contraption called Nigeria. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu becomes the symbol of justice because he is fighting for everyone. He wasn't fighting only for himself. He wasn't fighting for the Igbos alone. He wasn't fighting for the Biafrans alone. He wasn't fighting for southern part of Nigeria. He wasn't fighting for Nigerians alone. He was fighting for everybody for us to get justice. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stands for what is right. From the very first day he started with agitation up till now, he is a freedom fighter, fighting for freedom of everyone, every human being living on the planet Earth. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cares about humanity. That is why he's been kidnapped. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was fighting for every human. That is why he was being kidnapped. Speaking up for his own people mainly, who are being subjugated, demonized, and made less than third-class citizens in a country which is supposed to be theirs. Even when his own part of the country are the people feeding that very one Nigeria. It is the Biafrans that are feeding one Nigeria. Everything that one Nigeria, that made one Nigeria what it is today, is from the Biafra land. The wealth that Nigeria is boasting of today is from Biafra land. Even the so-called one Nigeria talking, it is Biafrans that made that one Nigeria to exist. It is only Biafrans that you can find in every angle of that country called Nigeria, adding to development of the country. It is only Biafrans you can find in every state, in every village, adding to the development of the area you find them. They are the only people that does that. They go to a place, they build house, they pay their taxes, they develop the place, they buy land, they develop it better than those who own the land. And they never kill anybody, they never take anything by force. These are the people who are even making the one Nigeria stand, and yet they have not been accepted. They don't want them in the country. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu saw this. It's unbearable. And he began to speak up. Those who were supposed to stand with him, they ran away from him. They betrayed him and sold him out. They didn't stand with him. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu continued to cry. When Mazi Nnamdi cried, the whole people in the southeastern part of Nigeria had him. The old southeastern region, the present southeast and south-south, with the lower Benue, they had that voice in the wilderness crying and shouting, "Save my people. Let my people go." Every Biafran rose up and stood behind Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and we are standing strong with him, speaking the same language, asking for self-determination. We want to decide our fate in that your so-called one Nigeria. We want to decide our fate. We are asking for a referendum for us to decide our fate. That was the message Mazi Nnamdi Kanu about. Peaceful referendum. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was never at any time calling for war. You saw the so-called Northern group, the way they came out on their press interview, on their press statement, and begin to dish lies against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They dish lies against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They came and began to talk down on the traditional rulers. I don't blame them. It is the traditional rulers that gave them that privilege to begin to speak boldly. The traditional rulers from Biafra land, who are supposed to be respected, who are supposed to be the people who will decide what happens in that contraption, they lost their respect because they sold their birthright to the Janjaweed. And today, the Janjaweed will come out openly to challenge our traditional rulers and talk down on them. Simply because they are asking for the unconditional release of their son, who has not committed any offense. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu committed no offense. You went and kidnapped him and renditioned him to Nigeria. You committed a war crime. Then the elders of the land went and began to demand for his release from the presidency. All you have to do is to go at the behind as your so-called Northern Forum and begin to dish out lies. So many of you must have seen the statement they read out. Everything they were speaking about are lies. Saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu called for war. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has never called for war. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has always been calling for self-determination for his own people. Self-determination through referendum. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was calling for a peaceful referendum so that people can go their separate ways. He has never called for war. He has never attended, even when people were forcing him to declare war, declare Biafra, he never declared Biafra. He never called for war. He was asking for self-determination, consistently asking for self-determination through a referendum. That's what they were asking for. They went to his house at the first place with the support of the governors and the idiots called themselves elites. In their support, they brought python dance to kill Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu survived the attack of the python dance. They killed 28 people in the home of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Up to today, those 28 people have not gotten justice. They killed Jack the dog. There is no justice. That case has not been heard up to today. Our brother Sunday Bogo, you saw his own case. Our Oduduwa brothers, a judge in Oduduwa land was able to grant Sunday Bogo justice in his own case. But for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a judge in Biafra land who is the same tribe with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has not given him justice. Refused to give him justice. Refused to give him justice. We are not begging. We are not telling you to play games. Justice in the law of Nigeria, the real justice the way it is, they could not be able to do that up to date. They turned against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, even when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went ahead and continued to preach. The masses rally ran again after him. They begin to kill our people. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu formed the ESN to protect his own people. After he has cried to the governor so many times, he called the governors, protect your people, form a regional security outfit to protect your people. He wrote to them, he talked to them, he called them, they refused. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took it upon himself to create the ESN to protect the people. What did they do? They turned against the ESN. They begin to demonize the ESN. They brought the military to kill ESN. They begin to kill Biafrans because Biafrans want to secure themselves. Who were those killing? The same governors went and called these killers to kill Biafrans simply because they want to protect themselves. And every human being living on the planet Earth knows that self-defense is not a crime in the world. It's not a crime. Self-defense is not a crime. When the state have refused to protect you, it is your own duty to protect yourself. Even the so-called Muhammad Buhari cannot even protect the state. The imposter in Asura cannot protect the state of the late Muhammad Buhari. Then how do you expect Biafrans to live their life in their own hand to be killed? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu formed a security outfit, ESN, and ESN have been doing their duties in the bushes. In the bushes, not in the city. They were working in the bushes. Up to today, they are still working in the bushes, preventing the terrorists from invading our land. The Janjaweed went ahead to send Boko Haram that they have recruited into the military to come and kill Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Meanwhile, these are the same people who are now coming to say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will not be released. These same people have freed terrorists, known terrorists, well-known terrorists, well-known pronounced terrorists. Even the person who is leading ISWA that they claim they have killed, this person was arrested and the government released that person, pardoned him, and sent him back to the forest to continue to cause mayhem. This same northern group were there when the government forgave terrorists. They didn't only forgive them, they brought them and put them into the military. And even after putting them in the military, they were still causing havoc. They say that they are still killing people. They tell us they are reintegrating the terrorists into the city. But we are asking for the unconditional release of our innocent son, innocent brother, innocent husband, innocent freedom fighter who has not committed any offense. They have the guts to come out and begin to talk down on our traditional rulers and say they have no right to ask for that. They say he called for war. He never called for war. They gave him all manner of bad names, all manner of nonsense they were saying. But ask yourself, out of every accusation they are making against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, none of them is mentioning that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that the person they have in Asoro is not Muhammad Buhari. Go and check again. In that press interview they released, they only said Mazi Nnamdi Kanu insulted the people, insulted Nigeria, called Nigeria zoo. But they never point the major accusation that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is making, that the person they have in Asoro is an imposter, that Buhari died and buried in Saudi Arabia. What does that tell you? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is saying the truth. He's the only man who is bold enough to say the word that he is. He's the only man who is bold enough to say it as it is. Have you asked yourself, why is it out in all these accusations that these people are making against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, saying he called for war, he insulted the North, he killed people, he did it? Why are they not saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that the person they have in Asoro is not Buhari? In the charges that the Malami brought, he didn't include that. He didn't include that. Now the Northern Forum are coming again to speak on one of lies. The major thing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was saying, they never mentioned it. That the person they have in Asoro is dead. That the person they have in Asoro is not Muhammad Buhari. None of them is saying it. They are always running away from it. What does that tell you? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has always been right. And I know he has always been right. That is why when I see people who are dining with people who Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have condemned, if I see you dining with the people who Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have condemned, I'll be wondering, what kind of follower are you? You claim to be a follower of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You claim to be a follower of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and yet Janjaweed will be praising you in what you are doing. An arch enemy of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, somebody who wants Mazi Nnamdi Kanu dead, will be praising you, and you'll be happy. It is all clear. For those who feel that they are confused in the past, you don't know who is responsible or who is fighting against IPOB or who is trying to destroy IPOB. If you don't know, I think it is more clearer to you now. It is much more clearer to you now, those who are standing with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is much clearer to you, those who are standing with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. When you see people who are being praised by somebody like Uwazurike, who some few months ago was speaking against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, even swearing that he would have killed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu when he had the opportunity. Somebody who kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on his wedding day, the most precious day in his life. He kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And he was even boasting that he made a mistake of not killing him. The video is still online. Somebody who has even framed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu up on different occasions said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a sponsor of the unknown government. Even when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has said it on his broadcast that he doesn't know the unknown government, neither does he control them. That same person who has demonized Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and prayed that he will have a chance to kill Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Today, the same person is praising some group, praising some people who call themselves leaders, praising some people who call themselves elites, praising some people who call themselves people who are under IPOB, and people who are fighting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And that doesn't ring a bell in your ear. It doesn't ring a bell in your ear. It is so sad. It is so sad that some people pretend that they don't know what is happening. But I thank Chukwu Okike Abiama for everything that's happening. You know, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a prophet. That is the reason why I love him so much. Everything that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu says comes to pass. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has always said it, that if you are in IPOB, it doesn't matter the position you occupy. If you are not meant to be part of those who will restore Biafra, and you are not sincere, IPOB will vomit you. And that is what is happening today. That is what is happening today. All those people who claim to be eating with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the same plate, all those who claim to be standing with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, all those who claim to have fought with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from day one, all those who claim to have formed the name Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with them, today you can see all of them. You have seen their position and who they are. It is becoming more clearer when you see somebody like Owazurike praising some people for standing against what is right. And then that same Owazurike is attacking some people. Go and check the people Owazurike is attacking and check the people Owazurike is praising. You will see the difference is clear. Then you will know who they support and where they belong. You know who they support and where they belong. It doesn't matter how you try to pretend. Your pretense cannot work. Your pretense can never work. Our student Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have always laid a very strong foundation and good example. When you do something that is good and responsible, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will praise you. It doesn't matter who you are. Praising you doesn't mean that he's going to be dining with you and sit on the same table with you. No. Praising you doesn't mean that he will forget the evil that you are evil. No. When you do something that is right, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will recognize you. But when you try to play games to cajole Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to drag you close, he will never. He won't. And that is the foundation we are following. Foundation that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has. Foundation based on strength, based on truth and consistency. And if you see anybody who is not consistent in his or her word, somebody who will say something in the morning, in the evening, he said a different thing. Somebody who will say something in the afternoon, in the night, he said a different thing. You know that they are not with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They have their own agenda. You see people are projecting themselves. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have set a standard, build a name that is purified and sanctified, as white as snow. Today, everybody is trying to connect to that name. Most of them trying to connect to that name with their evil agenda. They are trying to they want to grab that name to build themselves. Something like Owazurike will come out and tell you that he's fighting for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Owazurike will tell you that he's fighting for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You will see the games they are playing. Going to the family of Ojukwu, using Ojukwu's wife and children to begin to play some games. Trying to win the heart of Biafrans. Let me tell you, every credibility anybody will earn in the struggle for Biafra, you will earn the credibility for yourself. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have made a name for himself, and Biafrans know him. Who are you? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has built a name for himself, credibility, a name based on truth and consistency. What about you? You have to do your own work. If you want people to obey you and respect you, build a standard and let the people see it. Let the people see it. The people are asking for the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and every hand is on deck. Every single person is doing what they are supposed to do. You can't confuse us and begin to make yourself relevant when the masses are the ones acting. Just like we had an information that Oju Zokal went to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Somebody like Oju Zokal that you know very well that has nothing to offer. And still, some people will be rejoicing. The only reason why Oju Zokal is going there is to go exalt himself. All of them want to build their name on top of the foundation that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has built. They want to use their evil to connect to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to elevate themselves. So that when people see them associated with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they will now think that they are good. But we know who they are. We know them. We cannot trust them. In as much as we know that Chukwu Okike Abiama can use even an enemy to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Chukwu Okike Abiama, I said it, if Biafrans are not willing to fight and struggle for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Chukwu Okike Abiama will use an enemy, an arch-enemy to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But when that person have done his or her own assignment, that is it. It doesn't mean that we're going to be dining with you as an enemy. No. We can't dine with our enemy. We know who our enemy is. Or Jews of Kale that will know that stand against everything that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu represents. He stands against everything Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Even the first time when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu released, Oju Zokala was one of the people who went to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu when he was kidnapped the first time, to go and tell lies and force him to drop the struggle of Biafra. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu refused and told him to his face that he cannot leave the struggle of Biafra. He has come again. He has come again. And if you listen to his speech, you see that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has nothing to do with Ajus Okalu. If there is anybody that will go and speak to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it is not Ajus Okalu. If there is somebody who Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will listen to, it is not Ajus Okalu. And did you ask yourself, why is it that Ajus Okalu found it so easy to go and see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu without any disruption? Against the rule of the law, against the other. Even Ajus Okalu found it easier than the lawyers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Ask yourself why. Ask yourself why. Because they have an agenda. This is somebody whom Janjaweed have been using from the onset. And today, some people are rejoicing because Ajus Okalu went to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Don't rejoice yet. But every time you are talking, put in your head that Chukwu Okike can use even an enemy to bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out. But that will not make you to begin to dine with that enemy. Every enemy that Chukwu Okike have given an assignment to this Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will accomplish it. If unknowingly, they will accomplish it. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be out. It doesn't matter what they do, it doesn't matter what they say. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting a just cause for every indigenous tribe in that country called Nigeria. And for those who don't know, in every blessed day when you sleep and wake up, you see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu being vindicated from every accusation. Everything that anybody that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu tells you, this person is evil, go take it to heaven, take it to earth, any place you take it to, that person is evil. Anybody that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu tells you that the person is evil, that person is evil, no matter where you take it to. Wazuke can never ever be trusted. Neither Ajus Okalu be trusted. If Chukwu Okike decide to use them to bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that doesn't mean we trust them. That doesn't mean we believe in them. Chukwu Okike in his infinite mercy can use anybody. If the Biafrans refuse to continue to embark on their sinful disobedience, Chukwu Okike can use anybody. But for us Biafran, we have to continue on our sinful disobedience. Increase the force, do more, anything you know you can do to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released. Continue to do it, intensify it the more, make it harder. Sit at home, let it continue in a very higher rate. For those who are confused, don't be confused. There is one news that came out just yesterday. You know our Oduduwa brothers, Ilana Omo Oduduwa, the leader of Ilana Omo Oduduwa, Professor Akintoye, who has been working with Ninas. He was working with Ninas to see if Nigeria can be salvaged, if things can go better. Finally, Professor Akintoye have come to resign from Ninas and say he's no longer part of the Ninas. Remember this same Ninas that is being led by one Tony Nnadi. This Ninas that is being organized by one Tony Nnadi, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said something about the Ninas, that they are not working for the activation of Biafra, neither are they working for the freedom of the indigenous people. That they are not working for the freedom of the indigenous people, they are working for their own selfish interest and for the general government to distract attention. To distract people who are genuinely fighting for freedom. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made that statement that people didn't believe in. People didn't believe in, including our Oduduwa brothers didn't believe in. Our Oduduwa brothers went to try. There's nothing wrong in that. You must not believe anything. It is good you try and see by yourself. Our Oduduwa brothers went to try this so-called Ninas. Professor Akintoye, who is standing and the leader of Ilana Omo Oduduwa, the actualization of Oduduwa nation. Professor Akintoye, most of you know him. They made Professor Akintoye a leader. They made him the president of Ninas in order to win people. Finally, Professor Akintoye have discovered that it was all a scam. That their own mission is totally different for what Oduduwa people are looking for. Exactly what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu saw, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu spoke about it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said he doesn't have anything to do with so-called Ninas. That they are projecting the agenda of the caliphate. That they are not fighting for the ordinary people, neither are they fighting for the indigenous people. It is all a scam. They are not fighting for indigenous people. Professor Akintoye gave it a trial, and finally, Professor Akintoye has come out to tell us that he has resigned from Ninas, and Oduduwa has nothing anymore to do with Ninas. Oduduwa have nothing to do with the Ninas anymore. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu vindicated again. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu vindicated again. Just like every other thing, everything that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said in the past, they always come to pass. Those that has not happened, will happen. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that we are going to betray him, you can see the betrayal happening today. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that Biafrans will betray him, you can see the betrayal happening before your own very eye. People are still betraying Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. People who he trusts so much, people who he gave something to hold for him, they are betraying. Even as I'm speaking, they are still betraying him. That is something you have to be able to key into and know whom you are following. As for me, I am following our son Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and his principle. I am following Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and his principle. Everything that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu represents is what I trust and believe in. I don't care whom you are. I don't care the organization. I don't care the name you give yourself. I don't care. The only standard I have that I'm looking upon is the standard that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have built. The only foundation I'm building on is the foundation that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have led. That foundation of truth and consistency. And thank God I'm not the only one in it. There are so many wonderful broadcasters also. There are so many people who are speaking up for what is right. Let me tell you, when you go to a platform, don't just go to a platform because people told you to go into it. Do not go away from a platform because of what people say, and don't demonize people because of what you hear. Go to a platform and listen to what they are saying. You see people attacking some people, somebody like Simon Ekpa, see people attacking him from different angles. What wrong has Simon Ekpa done? Tell me, what wrong has he done? Simon Ekpa, as long as I know, is still pursuing every principle that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have kept in order. He's still following all the principles of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is what Simon Ekpa is saying, and that's what Simon Ekpa represents. But today, people are attacking him, giving all as them. You see, some people have turned their own platform into a propaganda platform. They have turned their platform into a propaganda platform to begin to push out propaganda from all angles and all corners. Is that what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was doing? Is that what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told you to do? Of course not. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told us to stand for the truth and only but the truth. The truth and only but the truth. It doesn't matter who it concerns. If it is your father or your mother that is lying, tell him or she that is lying. It doesn't matter whom it is. It doesn't matter who it is. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stands on the principle of truth. That is why he can boldly come and tell you that he is as white and whiter than snow. And he was the only white covering IPOB all this while. When he tells you that IPOB is as white and whiter than snow, it was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu who was making the cover. And today, DSS have taken away Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He's in DSS. And now you can see all the deaths in all corners. As Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, those deaths are about to be vomited out. And we cannot stop. Those of us who still believe in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you must continue to speak up. You must continue to struggle. You must continue to shout on top of your voice. Continue to embark on sit at home. And any other thing you can do to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu be released, continue to do that. Don't look back. Do not look back. Don't even look back an inch. Don't. Because we must get home. We must go home. We must go home. Wherever front you are going to fight for, fight from that front and we will get home. We must definitely get home. I saw one other information where people were passing, some people who were making some other videos about the burning of some building and destruction of building of some Ipob Biafrans in Lagos. When they are destroying building in Lagos, please do not make it Yoruba people destroying the houses of Igbos. It is a lie. That is not the story. When you hear somebody that destruction of building, it is not Yorubas destroying the Igbo property. No, it is not. It is still that same government of the Janjaweed who are promoting that evil through Tinubu. It is Tinubu that is promoting that evil. It is not the Yorubas. Tinubu promoting that evil to make sure that people will bend to their own side. To make sure that they create confusion among us, the Southerners. But we cannot allow that. Whatever destruction of houses that is happening in the South, in Lagos State, it is not going to be termed as Igbo destroying, Yoruba destroying Igbo house or whatever. That is not what it is. It is this Janjaweed trying to plant the seed of discord. They have tried in so many faces. They have used all manner of tools to make sure they destroy the friendship that we have built with our brothers. But they cannot succeed. The friendship we have with our brothers is as solid as stone, and we continue to grow more solid and stronger as the day goes by. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be released unconditionally. It doesn't matter what anybody says. It doesn't matter the propaganda you bring. It doesn't matter the angle you're coming from. You can't confuse us. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be released unconditionally. Regardless what anybody thinks, regardless what anybody does in their own go, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be released unconditionally. And we will continue until Biafra comes. We will continue until Biafra comes. If you are embarking on sit at home, embark on sit at home every Monday. Make it tighter. If you can add more days on your own, nobody is enforcing it. On your own, it is your responsibility. The spirit of Biafra is in all of us, and we are going to bring our freedom. Nobody's going to give you freedom in a pot of gold. You have to fight for it and make sure that it comes. This is the time for all of us to take responsibility and make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is being released. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect everyone that is watching this video. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect every hand that will share this video. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect the Oduduwa people, guide and protect the Biafran, guide and protect the Middle Belt, guide and protect every single person that is genuinely fighting for freedom in the country called Nigeria. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect Sunday Igboho, bring Sunday Igboho out so that very soon he will join us and continue to celebrate and continue the struggle and walk into Oduduwa land alive. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect our student Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, guide and protect him, secure him, give him good health, give him more revelation, so that very soon Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to join us and we will walk into Biafra with our head lifted high, singing the flag, the national anthem of Biafra and celebrating in Biafra land. Every hand that shared this video, you will see Biafra. Every hand that listens to this video, you will see Biafra. Everyone that is following and doing that which is right, you will see Biafra. You will never pay with your life. Nobody will take your life until Biafra comes. You walk into Biafra, celebrate in Biafra, and continue to tell the story of Biafra. Thank you so much for watching wherever you are watching from, and remember this. Bye-bye. See you again on the next video.